dad also worked for the power company. That was his vocation most of his life. But he did work in the mines a little bit in the winter. And then he'd work for the power company in the summer, and then eventually went to work for the power company full time. Yep.
Chunky fella.
And he lived up here. They had a switching station up here. They had a power line that went over the pass. One to Uray and one to Silverton and one to Telluride. So a three-way junction here. They called it the junction station. And they had to have somebody there year-round to do switching.
Right.
And so he lived there for a year. He stayed all winter, and that was me when I was
little.
Yeah, about 2 or 3 years old.
Lived up here all year long.
Yeah.
Where at?
Just for 1 year, just around the corner here. The house is gone.
Of course. Huh. Get snowed in?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't remember that, of course. Snow gets so deep up here. You can still see the remains of the junction house. This platform here. That's where they had their electrical transformers. Yeah, the house is right over there in that area somewhere. There's kind of a flat there. So this thing here is around a shaft operation that went down instead of...
Oh, is that why it's fenced off so no one falls through?
They've got it covered over. They call it bulkheaded. They put a bulkhead over that. That's what they call that in mining lingo. And so it's bulkheaded over. But that was a shaft operation that went down. Called the Cincinnati shaft. First it had another name. Was it the Columbia shaft, I guess? Then it was later named Cincinnati shaft. So this mill here was Tom Boy's first mill before this stuff did. That's where they built their first mill. Then they built a second one, and then a third one. They built 3 different mills. As the technology changed, they built better mills.
When did the mines close?
1927.
Why? Out?
Great Depression was headed our way. Just the price of metals wasn't there.
So the mines were closed when you lived up here?
Oh yeah, they were all closed. But they hadn't been closed too long. That was in about 1939 that Dad was up here, or 1940. And it closed in 27, so it was only 13 years. And there was a lot of, most of the equipment was all still here.
Oh yeah, what are they going to do, take it back down the mountain?
And they, what?
They're not going to take it back down the mountain?
No, well they did. So when World War II hit, they salvaged all up for scrap for metal. So to get that back to Dad's story, where he worked in the mine a little bit, but he didn't work as a miner. He worked as a timberman. He didn't run a drilling machine, and they have to put timbers up in various places to keep it from caving in. So he worked as a timberman, and he has 2 interesting stories to tell. One, to go from what they call level to level. When they drill a tunnel in, then they mine above it, and then they drill another tunnel up higher, and they mine above that. They have various levels, tunnels, and sometimes you have to go by ladder from one level to another, down ladders. Dangerous. And he was on this crew, like there were about 6 or 7 or 8 men that had to go down to the next level to come out of the mine to go home at night.
Right.
And so he started down the ladder, and he was the first one that started down. And you wait, they spaced themselves a little. they didn't go real close because you might step on the guy's fingers, the guy below you.
Right.
So I don't know how, they probably waited a minute between each guy or something like that. So he was the first one down, and he heard this guy yell. So he instinctively hugged the ladder as tight as he could and grabbed the rungs of the ladder and got as tight to the rungs as he could, because the ladder was vertical.
Right.
Almost vertical. And he had a lunch bucket that with a strap on it that went up over his lunch bucket. It's a metal thing that went up over his shoulder to, so he could use both hands to climb down the ladder. And this guy fell by him and hit his lunch bucket on the way down. He crushed his lunch bucket on the way down, and of course it killed him when he was dead.
How far did he fall?
Oh, a long ways, but I don't know how far. 50 feet, I don't know, but a long way.
100 feet, you think?
Oh, probably. Maybe more. Probably more.
I don't know if I could climb down a ladder 100 feet tall. Oh.
You can in the dark.
Yeah, that's true, and you can't see, right? It's just a ladder.
It's easier.